Here we are on a lovely Sunday morning. We are going to be putting this double DIN screen into this single DIN console. So this is the size of the double DIN, sorry. So it nicely fits into this bottom bit here. It's a bit wiggly there, but once I've got it fastened in, I think it'll be fine. But obviously there are these vents here, which obviously are going to have to go, and I'm going to have to block up the vents in the car with something, probably a bit of wood or these bits of plastic. But that's what I have to do first. I'm going to have to cut the wheels off each side, cut round it, and then we're going to have to sort of use a filler, I'm guessing, and like I make a wood frame behind it so we can mount the basically the radio. So I'm going to start by cutting all of this out so it's got a big square, and then we'll go from there. Yes. Here we have something I could use, this ET toothy thing. So, safety first when you're messing with machinery. Oh! That's on. Got light and everything. Oh, that's to like sort of hold in place. Yes, this is magnificent. I have never used it for this because there's like a sanding pad you can put on. I've used that. Never used this cutty thing. I hope I can use it for this. We shall see. Safety goggles are on. Let's put them on you as well. There you go. Do I look magnificent? I better do. So let's start with the simple cuts. Let's start here. Yes, that is cut like butter. It's only like a shit plastic, so I can't expect it to be super. I'm gonna go shut the door because it does make rather a large noise. Oh. Oh, it's perfect that now. Go straight in without me having to fiddle. So, right, we're done with the cutty thing of destruction. It goes in there nicely. Starting off, I've put these two things in because the cage is held in there, and it is at this height that I'm going to have it. So I'm getting a bit of wood to demonstrate. It's going to be a bit thicker, but it's going to go across there, and then I'm going to screw the cage into that like cross beam. Right, so we are getting somewhere. I've put that cross beam in, and this fits in this little section that I've created pretty much perfectly. There's a lip of plastic at the bottom, and then the lip of this goes perfectly in there. And then in the sides, so the side I'm not too bothered about that. I'll have to fix in the filler stage. And then the black frame for the radio does go nicely over all this, so it hides most of it. But what I'm going to do now is essentially drill this into this bit of wood. So this cage is now then part of this sort of thing. And obviously if I want to get it out, I'll have to unclip it while it's out here. Right, we've got somewhere it is in. It is very, very tight on this side, not so much on this side. You can see, hello, you can see there's a bit of a gap there and there's no gap there. So when I take this off, I'm going to try and maybe sand that corner down a bit. But it looks alright, to be honest. What I'm going to work with, so that's the outside framing. I've masked it all up. It's not in properly because of the masking paper or tape. So this gap around here, perfectly fine. This gap here, perfectly fine with. This gap here, not so fine with. And then obviously all the way around here. So I've got some 120 and then up to like 3000 sandpaper that I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and sand all this down ready. Obviously you can see I've just started there. Ready basically to accept the filler, so I'm going to have to fill slightly onto there and get it round so I can get that shape. So here we have the final, well not final product, but final filler. So I've got filler all in there, so I'm then going to have to It's got a lot of weight to it now, that. So obviously this is all protected, so it's not going to get filler on it. I'm going to sand this all down when it's dry. I'm going to have to do that tomorrow because I don't have time. One, to do it today, and two, that's going to take a while to set. Because it's quite thick. So I'm going to leave that nearly 24 hours basically. And then come around and smooth that down. So here we have the next stage. It is now a day later, and this is dry. So now it is going to be time to sand all this down. Don't need to worry about this because all the tape's coming off. I need to sand this down, get down all these cracks, and this is going to be the hard, intricate part. So I don't want to get this wrong, otherwise I'll have to do it all again. So yeah, let's get on with that. I'm going to do it in stages because I want to listen to some tunes while I'm doing it. But essentially all I'm going to be doing is sanding this, and I'll record at each major point. And for some reason, if you are following whatever I do on this channel, this is only for entertainment purposes, unless I say otherwise. I'm just masking this off, so obviously I don't want to get things in the pins, especially down these little holes. Yeah, it's not super detrimental, little bits now and there, but all the dust of this, no, that's not going to be a good thing. So there we have it. Instead of taking the front panel off, I just took the entire radio out. That was a lot easier to do. So now obviously we have these edges here. Obviously this cage is part of it. So what I need to do now is sand and round these edges slightly like they are here. And a bit trimmed a tiny bit further back obviously so that panel doesn't come out in and out so difficultly. But yeah, it's actually going pretty well. And these gaps here, obviously I might have to put a bit more filler on the top here, but we will see. So here we are at the nearly final pre-production stage. So there was those little holes you saw there, that was a bit scuffed, and then there was a bit of a gap here, so I've filled it all in with a little bit of filler. So I'm going to wait for this to dry and then go over, and literally this will be pretty much finished, ready to be painted. So then I can essentially take it apart and repaint the whole thing, to be honest. So yeah, I'm now going to go ahead and tidy all this up. This dried and I've sanded it and it looks pretty magnificent. Get a wipe down. Obviously I need to sand it smooth, so you can hear the difference. So I'm going to sand it all smooth and then it'll be painting. Obviously the only things I won't be able to paint is this drawer, because I don't want to be scratching it constantly, and the cigarette lighter, which you rejoin me now. I'm trying to put the radio back in. I've demolished half the cage because I didn't take into account this frame here, and there's a bit of metal in here, or metal or whatever, in the way. So I'm currently picking away at this so I can basically snap it all off because it needs to go a bit further back, and then I'm gonna have to use something in there. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Let's take them off. Will that go through wood, or am I being an idiot?
Idiot.
So that's now in. That was my frame. It's now not in. That's now in there. That's there. Like that, basically. Fucking hell. I think that's hitting it. Right. So, I've lost the will to live again while sorting something on this car. This has taken me several hours. So what I've done is bodged. I've taken the vents that twist out of here. It would usually go in there. they're now back here, held in with some screws behind it and some screws in front of it so it can't wobble its way out. Now, because there is some minute gaps back here, I'm having to duct tape it all up. Obviously, yes, I know air's going to get out and whoop-de-doo, but it's not going to be a lot. And I'm hoping that the radio can withstand a bit of heat anyway, because it's behind the dashboard. But I'm just layering upon layering duct tape back here in the hopes that it seals it somehow. So here we finally have this finished. The center console screen is now in and it is working. All boots up fine, it's all back in. Granted, it is held on with zip ties, but it is screwed in here and here. I just couldn't get to the screws up here, but it's not coming out, and obviously the ride height isn't, but it's very bumpy, so it's not shaking itself loose. But we'll put the key in just so I can show you that it actually does work and I'm not just telling fibs. Where's the hole? See? Turn my fans off. There it is. Yeah. You wait for it, it takes a while. But yeah.
Morning.
Still works, and then I've got my Android Auto linked to my phone. So there you go. Proof that it works. Probably gonna pop in a second. There you go. Anyway. That's it. It's all in. Job's good and video done.